Entertainment. John Katsilometes from the Las Vegas Review-Journal is here. He's got a column called Cats, and he's got a podcast called Podcats as well. How's that going, by the way? Good?
Podcats runs my life.
Okay.
Yeah, in fact, one of the people we're talking about today was on Podcats. Verdine White from Earth, Wind and Fire is on it today. Just teed it up.
All right, perfect. We'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
First, we're going to talk about Mötley Crüe and this new biopic, The Dirt. Now, it's out just on Netflix, right?
Right, it's on Netflix, and it starts, you can get to it on Friday.
Okay, and we talk about this because Vince Neil lives here in Las Vegas.
Vince Neil, he splits his time between Las Vegas and Nashville.
Okay.
And I've known Vince for a very long time. And he's of course, the front man for Mötley Crüe, and The Dirt is a book that they wrote years ago, collectively the band.
Right.
And they just premiered it in LA, and this is the Mötley Crüe's version of Bohemian Rhapsody as to Queen. And this is what's interesting about this film. I haven't seen it yet, but I was a Mötley Crüe fan in real time.
Sure.
They covered Madonna's "Like a Virgin" as part of the soundtrack.
Okay.
And I heard about this a few weeks ago, and when I heard this, I was actually in conversation with Vince, and I said, Vince, why?
Yeah.
It's not the first band or the first person you would think to cover that song.
No,
but, he said they wanted to mix it up a little bit and put some rocket fuel into the Madonna song.
Gets people talking like we're talking, right?
Exactly. Right, yeah, exactly. So it helps promote the film. So I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Okay, on Netflix, what day?
Friday.
Friday, okay, Friday. All right, this is great. Rick Harrison from Pawn Stars opening up a store at the Grand Canal Shops. Now, I was asking you, is it a pawn shop? You said, no, it's a store.
Not a pawn shop.
Okay.
They're selling stuff. They're selling some of his favorite items. Some of the most unique items at Gold and Silver Pawn are going to be in what's called Rick's Collection. I think it's going to be opening in June, July at the Grand Canal Shops at the Venetian. Now, this was supposed to be, if you follow the column, this was supposed to be called Rick's Picks at the Pawn Plaza, which is right next door to the Gold and Silver Pawn. They were going to put it there.
Yeah.
But Rick reasoned after looking through this thing, and this was like last fall, that you know, if you're trying to sell stuff from Gold and Silver Pawn next door to the pawn shop, you're kind of preaching to the anointed.
Right.
He wants to grow his base of tourists on the Strip, and he's never done that before, so they're going to do it this summer and have it be a standing store, so you can buy all kinds of odd and unique items that you see on the show. People
come from all over, and they're walking in the Venetian, so it's like, oh, they all know what it is.
And I go by that Gold and Silver Pawn when they're in recording season. The lines around the corner all the time, so it's more popular than ever, and they're probably going to renew for another season. Okay.
All right, let's talk about Earth, Wind and Fire. They are starting tonight at the Venetian.
Yes.
Are they just doing one show, or how many
They're
shows?
doing 6 shows beginning tonight through March 30th.
Great.
And they bring the funk. Yeah,
they do.
And Verdine White, we mentioned earlier, I talked to him, and he's going on his 50th year. The band isn't coming on its 50th year in existence, which is remarkable when you see them perform, because they're still, there's Verdine on the right with Philip Bailey, the singer in the middle. And they still are musically powerful, they're fun, they bring the theatrics. And if you can't dance to an Earth, Wind and Fire show, folks, I don't know what to tell you.
It's true.
I'm going there tonight, and I'm ready to go. I'm going to be stretching later. I'm going to get, I'm going to be
Stretching.
stretching out, make sure I don't pull anything. I told Verdine and I have had this conversation before. We should build a Cirque du Soleil show around Earth, Wind and Fire, because they're that much fun.
Right.
So I'm going to be ready to go.
15 seconds. Lena Prima, daughter of Louis Prima, at the Smith Center.
Smith Center on Thursday night at 7 p.m. Lena is the daughter of Louis Prima. Her show is a one-off there, and she has been in New Orleans for 8 years, but is back now. And she's got a jazz album that debuted in the top 10 on the Billboard jazz charts, and she's amazing.
All right, you can read more about it in Katz's column. Stay with us.